Hey guys, and welcome to 2020. This is the first episode of the new year, but this is going to be episode 15 of the Boonafide special podcast. This goes over a recent experience I had last night at my company holiday party and how it really put things into perspective for me. Hope you enjoy. Whoops. Welcome, guys. Hope you had a fantastic week and are having a fantastic weekend. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do intros for these videos. So for now, you get to deal with me being extremely corny and extremely awkward. I had my holiday Christmas. We had our company holiday party last night. We actually moved it between, instead of having it before Christmas, we moved it to after New Year's. Not sure why. Have my theories. Doesn't really matter. The point is that every year I've gone, rewind it back a little bit. Every year our company gives away probably close to maybe $10,000 to $15,000 in prizes, and that can range anywhere from year-long subscriptions to cooking classes to Apple products to cold hard cash, vacations, all the this is given away every single year, and every year there's not a year that I've won, and I've always felt like I needed it more, during certain times, or that it would be really nice to pay this bill off, or I had all these reasons and all these excuses why I should win. And I was always really upset when I didn't, and I think, I missed the entire point of going to those. And yes, it's fun to win things, but it's also nice to interact with people that you work really hard with on a daily basis, and getting to experience them in a different environment. Getting to see people, how they dress up, eat some good food, have chats that are not about work. I talked a little bit about work, but it's a fun experience, and getting to let loose and really let off some steam. And it's been an extremely tough year for us as a company. We've gone through a lot of changes, gone through a lot of hardships. So it was a really uplifting vibe. And I had a reason why I mentioned that is I had a different perspective. I had a different experience this year than I have any other years coming up to this one. As many of you know, I do broadcast on Twitch. I try to promote as much content to as many platforms as I possibly can. And part of my story is not part of my story. My story is that I'm a recovered drug addict, and I do, I like to inspire people that they can get help, or whether it's just shining a light of positivity in their life, or just, whatever the case may be. My goal is to help inspire people to become better than they did yesterday, and to help people realize that no one has to hide from this thing. No one doesn't have to not talk about it. It's a really cool experience, and just so happens that I just absolutely love video games, and so that's where I share it through. Through my animated gameplay, through I take that gameplay and I share it to Facebook, and I'll comment on it, and I'll share it to Twitter, and I'll say something else, and I'll post something to TikTok, and then I'll put some memes around the images and make fun of myself. And it's a really good time, and being able to share that, make people smile, whether it's on a high level or a really deep level. The impact that I get to make, the fact is that I get to make an impact, which leads me to my story is that one of the guys who helped me with my finances, we were blessed to have a financial team, and a financial team that helps us take a look at how we're spending our money and what we could be doing differently. And he had mentioned to me, this is after the prizes were given out, and he was like, just the fact that you're so positive in everything that you do, especially with the broadcasting, with the content, even at the office when things weren't as good, he's like, just having that alone has been really, really helpful to me. And he didn't go into why. He didn't have to explain why. But just being able to hear that, and I remember it hit me in that moment. I just said, that's better than winning any prize on that table. Sometimes we get so caught up in the, as broadcasters, I get caught up in the day to day and what does well, what doesn't do well, what my schedule should be, what games I should play, how much I should post, what I should post. It's a lot of fun to figure a lot of that stuff out, but sometimes I lose sight. And hearing something like that, especially in that moment, gave me chills down my spine. It was a really cool experience to have someone, have someone who doesn't even play video games that much, who it's a part of their life, but it's not like a huge deal. And the fact that I can make a difference in someone's life through a video game, and let that sink in for a bit. The fact that we have these amazing devices, like we're on right now, as well as our computers and the free services that these companies are offering, to be able to do that it's pretty crazy, man. And it's one of my it's sorry, I'm starting my words. It's a little early here in the morning. What a cool thing to do, guys. And earlier that day, and I didn't even tell you about this, but earlier that day, similar to this shirt I'm wearing, not the exact same one, but I have, my office has been the biggest supporter of my merchandise since I launched the store. I think I've sold 10 to 15 products, and it's been a really, really cool experience to see people not only support the brand within the company, but also they want to wear the shirt outside. And I saw it in a friend's Facebook post, seeing it on one of my buddies' posts who went on his honeymoon down to Florida. I thought that shit was the coolest thing ever, man. Like, that is like one of the coolest things that makes me smile from ear to ear. And that day, yesterday at the same time, not only did this happen, but also I had two people that bought shirts on the same day. They don't know each other. They work in completely separate departments, and they both wore that shirt on the same day right before the party. And if that shit isn't cool, I don't know what is, man. Like, to have people do that and really like it and really want to promote it and are excited to wear it. Guys, that's something I never thought was even possible. 6 years ago, I was 120 pounds. I could barely pay my rent, only for a few months. I had no purpose in life. I had no direction. I seriously thought that I was just an example of what not to do in life. I was on a losing streak and nothing was going for me. I never accomplished school. I never, dated and had a healthy relationship. I never had any like momentum or any goals to like go for it, because I just felt like goals were meant to like just help us chase our tail, and we never got anywhere. I had such a pessimistic view of life, and of course, I was getting high at the same time, so it didn't really help. But to come from a period like that, to come from that type of mindset, to people wanting to purchase products that embody my brand, that embody who I am, that share a message of hope, that shares a message of positivity, that shares laughter, that is so fucking cool, man. Like, that is like the coolest shit I think I've ever seen. And it hasn't really hit me. And sometimes it hits me really hard, and sometimes I don't feel it, and that's okay. But the point is that, our words and our actions have a lot bigger weight than we think. Just because someone's not telling you that it's making a difference every single day doesn't mean it's not. Just because someone's not liking your post or engaging your post or sharing your post does not mean that they're not getting something out of it. That doesn't mean that didn't help them through whatever it is they were going through that day. Guys, I get so caught up in this all the time, but it's so vital to understand that we have a message that we share, and we have a purpose in life, and we can affect people unique individually that no one else can. I can affect people that you can't, and you can have an effect on a lot of people that I can't because of your unique individual story. It spreads far and wide, guys, and it's why I keep all of my advice. All of my advice is universal, regardless of whether you're a broadcaster, regardless of whether you're a YouTuber, regardless of whether you work a 9-to-5 job and don't have a side hustle outside of here, regardless of if you're a fan, if you're a supporter, if you're a follower, whether it's whatever the case may be, what I try to share is universal and it applies to everything. Guys, when I wake up to certain things, it's prevalent in every area of my life. And so that's one of the things that I've started growing into, and it's going to be a mission for myself in 2020, is not giving specific advice because I'm limiting myself to who I'm helping. And just think about that. The more platforms you're on, the higher level the message is, the more universal the message is, the greater impact you can have. I love y'all. Have a great night. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, it would mean the world if you liked and subscribed to this podcast. Guys, I'm everywhere. There's no excuse why you shouldn't. I'm on Apple. I'm on Spotify. I'm on like 4 other podcast platforms. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I have something for everyone. It would mean the world if you took a look and commented, liked, subscribed, followed. Would love to hear your feedback. It's Boonafide Gaming everywhere.